A lot of things have changed since we first came on the scene. A lot of new faces, a lot of new buttons. Pretenders trying to prove themselves to move up in the ranks. All of our regular skippers were too familiar in the streets. Coppers already had a bead on them, and they were bound to get pinched soon. Now Nephew and Campbell Tisa left the administration and moved on to new things. And the rest of the family, let's see. We have Jahari Fame, done. Undisputed, done. And Die Hard, well, they're the new buttons in the family, but they couldn't continue to secure the territory alone. They needed some new blood to keep the pace. So the time had come to make some additions to the family. Word going through the new administration was that Capone and Uno had been using some associates for some small jobs. Good reports were coming in about the guys. Apparently, they had a lot of people shaking in their pants. Pretty dangerous crew from what I hear. News got around to Babyface and Leatherneck over in the hill, and fear kicked them immediately. They were ready to do whatever they could to clip these guys before they joined the family. Well, just their luck. They crossed paths with Ronnie Locks down on Broadway. He had a reputation for being a snitchy McRat, a ratty McSnitch, or whatever you want to call it. Especially when he was seconds away from getting whacked. I hate the guy personally. To my surprise, we didn't get to knock him off. He was useless to the family. But somehow they got Ronnie Locks back to the hill for a little conversation. They beat the living brakes off this man. He leaked in his pants like 3 times before they touched him. I saw it, it was on the floor, it was nasty. Leatherneck was known for having a short temper. He didn't take it lightly on Locks at all. Should have seen his face. And, I guess to make a long story short, with a gun down his throat, 2 seconds away from his brains being knocked all over the concrete floor, Locks told it all, from their names to their responsibilities, even where they stay. Babyface and Leatherneck put a contract out on him immediately. As far as I heard, the names that they mentioned were supposedly Tiny, the leader of the group, the visionary, the one who makes all the business marriages, Mickey Dice, Mr. Risk Taker, the gambler. You give him 5 seconds and he's always into something with high stakes. He still owes me money. Maestro, he was the mouthpiece of the crew, handled all the PR jobs. And then you got Joey Bones, the cleanup man. Cleans each job, leaves no trace of evidence. He even told them about Mouse. Mouse. Not too big of a fella, but a really short temper. The muscle of the group. He ought to be pretty interesting when you get a hold of him. And then we got Mumbles, the enforcer of the group. Few words, all action. They especially headed out for him after he beat up their boy, what's his name, Brockovich, down at the hill. Oh my God. He was late for like 5 minutes with his payment. I saw him running up the street swallowing his teeth. They didn't look too tasty. He mentioned Lucky also, the front man, deal maker. Apparently the guy who handles all the negotiations. He mentioned Four Eyes. Name definitely speaks for itself. This guy's the tech of the group. He gets them in and out, no issues. And finally, he rats out their favorite, Tony Too Tall Spinks. The paper chaser handles all the books for the group. Supposedly, he's so good with money, he could tell if the count's off just by listening to it. Now me personally, I don't believe it. I heard about a guy who can catch bullets with his teeth. He's dead now after I met him, but I digress. After Locks got through ratting everyone out, they let him off scotch-free, but they put a clock on him. As for the guys, apparently they got a hold of him and were bringing them in for a short meeting at the university. This ought to be interesting.